What's going on, everybody? I want to go fight a dragon, and to do that, I think it would be wise to get some more fire resistance under my belt. So what I'm going to do is go back to the Forbidden Oasis and open that last room, that last fire room. Now, if you remember, the first two rooms gave us +4 and then +6 fire resistance. I believe the last room gives us like +10, and altogether that's like +20% built-in fire resistance like forever. And that sounds good to me. And seeing as we were short 1 shard last time, we have that now, so we should be able to get in that room no problem. Maybe we have enough to open another door, start one of the other areas. I don't think so, but maybe. But I know we definitely have that 1 shard that we need, so we'll go ahead and do that.
Are you alright, Leliana? Are you? I suppose not. Haven was trying.
Alright. Get some other missions started. Let them do something while I'm gone. While the clock is ticking. Might as well take advantage of that. I don't think it too much matters who I take with me now. I don't think there's any personal companion quest stuff to do. I'll tell you what, while I'm there, might as well close that one Fade Rift that we left last time also. Might as well. Might even get some good loot out of it. It's possible. And here we go. Forbidden Oasis. We should spawn at that front camp, and we're only just a hop, skip, and a jump away from that Fade Rift, so yeah, let's do that first. It really matched the audio well with the scenery. The howling winds and the sandstorms and stuff is pretty cool, man. Pretty cool. Alright, now Solus. Bad thing about his tree is there's friendly fire on both of his 2 active abilities. His, what would you call it, his super or his special ability causes friendly fire, and I don't think the enemies really need any help kicking my ass right now. Might be something to play with much later, but yeah, the Pull of the Abyss and the Firestorm both have friendly fire. But he's got great passives, though, I'll say that. And he does weaken enemies. You know, initially I thought this was kind of a selfish specialist tree that he has. Not so much. That Veil Strike will not only incapacitate enemies, especially the smaller one like the mobs, you know, but I believe the upgrade weakens them or something. I don't know, but he does have some team buff stuff. I will say that. Initially I didn't think he did, but he kind of does, now that I look at it. And, you know, even if his specialist abilities, you know, even if they're really not usable, if his passives and his other active abilities are worth it, then no reason not to let him tag along every once in a while. I'm sure he'll have some more personal companion quest type stuff to do later anyway. So, not a complete waste. Blackwall, on the other hand, I don't know. He's got this one thing, it's called Line in the Sand, where he eventually erects something that's kind of similar to, like, say, an ice wall, sort of. You can kind of block enemies off, but the way I play, it can be just as annoying as it is helpful sometimes. Kind of getting in the way. I don't know, may play around with it a little bit, but I have a feeling I'll probably, when he's with me, deactivate that. And if you think I'm crazy for that, well, I like having access to the enemy, you know. I can't hit him if I can't get to him type of thing, so. I can honestly say I far prefer Cassandra's specialist tree, the Templar tree, overall, because it has so many just help. Everything on her tree basically helps the party. It's amazing stuff. Vivian's like that too. Y'all really gonna think I'm crazy. The Night Enchanter thing where she has that little sword. I could totally deactivate that. I do not even let her use it.
Can you imagine coming out here for a mining contract?
Sarah says I have sand in places. But yeah, when you activate the Night Enchanter ability with Vivian, it turns her into a melee character. She tends to like prefer that over everything. And assuming she still has the mana left to do things like, you know, cast barrier and do her job, even besides that, when she's constantly in the enemy's face, swinging her little sword and doing all that, she's essentially playing somewhat of a tank role. And I mean, if I had her set up that way, that's fine, but I prefer using her as a party buff. Now, there are other things in her tree that are amazing. You know, the group revive and all that. Her specialist ability is just crazy useful. Revive and then group revive too. I mean, she can keep the party going as long as she's on her feet. And if she's in there swinging her sword, wasting all of her mana, getting up in the enemy's face, and true enough, the sword does some damage, but that's all it does. It's just some spike damage, and that's it. Doesn't buff the party, doesn't do anything for anyone else. At least not that I'm aware of. So, not my thing, not my play style, not my build style. I'll just say that. But she functions amazingly well as a barrier buff team battery type deal. Yeah, she's good at that. I guess really each character has their uses in the party. I mean, they're not totally useless, but some are a little better than others. I prefer Barrick over Sarah. Combat for one, just for example. Say, well, Sarah has 1,000 cuts. True enough, but the way to really utilize 1,000 cuts is with, like, Mark of Death. That means you essentially have to have Cole with you also, because I'm not playing a rogue. If I'm playing a rogue, that would be a different story. And there would be some synergy there. But, by herself, Sarah essentially buffs herself. And, I mean, she can dish out the pain, I'll give her that. But Barrick gives the entire party, extra status effect damage, extra status effect time, and I believe status effect carries over to everything from taunt, right, to freezing, to weakness, you know, if you weaken an enemy, so anything you debuff them with, essentially Varric adds like 10% to that, and then he gives you a plus 10 critical chance all the time, also just by being in the party. It's a passive in a specialist tree. I mean, that's crazy. You add 10% to what your critical chance already is with all your various characters and stuff. You're talking about dealing out more than 10% extra damage. That kind of damage buff is, it's kind of hard to calculate that because of all the other critical modifiers that you can have. Critical damage, extra critical chance from everyone else, and then all the damage buffs on top of that. Like, say someone's taunted. So I'm going to do 40% extra damage, assuming me and my tank are both in the party, right? Any taunted enemies do 20% damage from all sources. That means the entire party. Well, if you stack that, that's 40% extra damage. Then you add a critical modifier on top of that, for example. And so you hit somebody all the time at just the right time when they already have all these other modifiers stacked, and then you put the critical modifier on top of that, and you're hitting a lot more criticals than the extra damage you're doing overall. And this isn't counting abilities. This isn't counting all the little spike damage abilities you can use, like, say, lightning and, you know, all this other stuff. This is just dishing out steady pain with your basic attacks. And I like that. I like that. It allows for kind of, like, I guess, for lack of a better term, a no-pause style of gameplay. Where you can essentially just run around and bash face, you know. That's the general idea, anyway. Making it work is a whole different story. Sometimes it requires a little testing. See, I don't have a lot of experience with the specialist trees in action and really trying to get the most out of them in the way that I play. But we'll get there. We'll get there eventually. I've given them a good look-see. I do have some theories in place that I think will work. We'll see when the time comes. If not, then it's back to the drawing board, right? And that's the fun about the game is, I mean, how many playthroughs just to test different builds, just to try different stuff. Just to say, you know what? that didn't work. I wonder if I did this under these circumstances and then just start an entire new character just to check it out. Just to see. And, really good RPGs. I can't tell you how many times I've done that. How many Skyrim characters I've had, Fallout characters, Dragon Age 1, Dragon Age 2, you know. Dozens, maybe hundreds, who knows. Now see, like, alright, say I just got revived, so the entire team for a few seconds got a damage resistance and basically an instant revive. You know, the whole team gets something similar to God mode for a second, you know, where you get a damage resistance, and then if you do go down within that period of time, you're instantly revived again. It's kind of like a little carryover. Well, what if Varric's little ability added extra time to that, too? Just for example. Extra time to, I don't know, your barrier? I don't know if Varric's ability buffs barriers also. I don't think so. I think it mostly applies to, like, debuffs and stuff. But, what if that applied to your damage resistance as pertains to other enemies? Even if not, still, just considering all that stuff, how do these things play together? In other words, I see you give me one benefit directly, but what other indirect benefits do I also get? From picking this one skill, I might buff the party in several different ways, you know? And, you know, as long as it all plays together, then it's a good deal. Alright, so, like I say, I know we have at least that one shard. I know we picked up a few. So we can definitely get this open. Funny thing about these rooms, and it's really, really easy to exploit them. I'll show you. I'll give you an example. Just take Sarah in here. I'm gonna tell my main character to wait out here. And it seems like, essentially, at least as far as this room is concerned, that as long as your main character isn't in here, the other enemies aren't aware that you're shooting them directly in the face. You know, in Skyrim, where you hear someone walking around, is someone there, you shoot them in the face, but they don't see you, and then they walk off. Oh, I guess it was nothing, and they literally have an arrow sticking out of their face. Okay, well, this is that type of thing. This is definitely exploiting the AI right here. I'm literally standing in front of this guy, shooting him in the face, and he's just looking at me like, "You're not shooting me in the face, are you?" Oh no, not me. I wouldn't do a thing like that. One more arrow to the face, right? So anyway, this is no fun. So I'll get the rest of my party in here. Now these fire mines are a lot more potent, or they seem to be a lot more potent than the fire mines that, say, a mage would hit, you know, throw at you out in regular combat. And this guy hits really, really hard. So do I. I have my Mark of the Inquisitor ability. And he gets up to get instant revive. Apparently, if they get down to a certain amount of health, it doesn't matter what you've done to them. They essentially get to stand up and give themselves a barrier and go at you one last time. Seems to be a pattern I'm seeing with these rage demons. A little freezing would be nice. None of the flame lips. No fiery lips for you, buddy. Let's stop that right now. Those guys haven't changed since Origins. The rage demons, they've been the same. They've always been the same. Very cool characters. Well, not cool when they're destroying your entire party with their flame breath, but, and I don't know why a random mine just popped up and knocked Sarah on her ass, but, there you have it. Alright, but this is it. Now, when we open this chest, I believe we get, 10% more built-in fire resistance, and we should get some more fire-based items. A really, really good belt, and I mean an amazing belt. Especially for fighting dragons. Really comes in handy. It brings dragons from the beyond nightmare level down to just the nightmare level. Now the dragon we're about to go fight here shortly, the Ferelden Frostback, he's one of the tougher ones to me because she summons her babies a few times in the fight. Yeah, she gets Mother of the Year award. Instead of standing up front and protecting her children while they go to safety, she calls them to die for her during the fight, and then she's gonna die anyway. But yeah, it's pretty shitty of her actually. But I had somebody tell me that they fought that dragon. Oh, I was level 10. The dragon, you know, starts at level 12. I was level 10, didn't heal one time, did it on nightmare friendly fire and stuff, and I'm like, really? Wow, kudos to you, man, because yeah, that's not happening for me. I haven't found a party build that's able to carry it like that. At least not at my current state, so kudos to you, man. Anyway, we'll get to that on the next one. The big dragon fight for Alden Frostback. Thanks for watching, and if you want to catch up on the rest of the Inquisition, click the top box. All my videos, click the bottom box. You want to subscribe, hit that button over my head. Remember to leave a comment, say hey, share as you like, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.